Good afternoon and welcome to the South Lakes. And what do we have here? The Dacia Jogger, the vehicle that combines MPV with estate and does a damn good job of it. And you may remember a year or so ago, we had the 1 litre. Well, this is hybrid. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. Is this the ultimate estate car? It's pretty much unbeatable on price, practicality, and what you get for that money. Honestly, it ticks boxes that other vehicles can't even see, and it's hybrid. So what's wrong with it? In a word, nothing. It's amazing how many journalists, YouTubers love it. I mean, we even loaded it with 7 people to see if it'll do it, as did CarWow and a few others. And considering it's a 1 litre 3-cylinder, it did rather well. Yes, it won't brake like a McLaren, but with rear drums on the back, what do you expect? But as far as a family estate car goes, it's fantastic. This is their first hybrid, and it utilises a 1.6 dual motor system and a traction battery, which is 1.2 kilowatt hour, and it neatly fits in the spare wheel well. So seating, flooring, it's all the same as the 1 litre. Excellent. So you've got a traction motor and an HSG, which is high voltage starter generator, and that allows for this to be able to launch in electric mode. And this is all coupled to a multi-mode clutchless gearbox that ensures smooth delivery, and it claims around 56 miles per gallon. Realistically, it's probably closer to 50. But the clever thing about this is it can travel along up to around 40 miles an hour in pure electric, and 80% of the time when you're going around cities, villages, whatever, plodding, you'll be in electric mode. Are you actually using fuel? I suppose the one way to find out is to drive it. It's quite clever, really. Now, Dacia have always strived to offer economical, affordable cars, and something that bit different. And Jogger fully embraces that. It's got character, it's got style. It's an interesting thing to look at. And just look at that ride height. It'll get you off the beaten track. And if you go for top of the range, you'll even get like an off-road mode. We'll take a look at that in a moment. This is fully teched up. There's no options. Well, pretty much one, a spare wheel. It may not be the quickest thing from the lights, but it can shift if you feather the accelerator. Because of that electric motor, you can leverage the power, shall we say. So 0 to 40 is considerably quicker than you might think. Now, this is built on the CMF-B platform, and it means it's modular. So essentially what they've done is lengthen things like the Sandero. Rather a clever move, because it means that this is so versatile. And as we know, the UK especially loves an estate car. And there's 3 trims: Essential, Expression and Extreme. And depending on which trim you go for, you get things like automatic or manual air conditioning, automatic lights, different infotainment system. The thing is, most of the stuff is standard across the range. So, for example, all the safety, all the tech. I mean, you get things like blind spot detection, automatic lights, and I do like the styling. If you go for extreme, you also get these bronzy extras as well. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it works extremely well, especially with the cedar green. Now, if you want our model, yes, it's not quite 18,790. It's closer to 24,000. But it's pretty much all singing and dancing as far as Dacia goes. It's stylish. It's quirky, and you'll notice the new logo. This is one of those cars that I've just wanted to try for years. I like Dacia as a brand. It's a cost-effective solution for motoring. Also, I think they look pretty cool. Yes, there is no all-wheel drive, but just look at that ride height. Also, ground clearance is pretty damn good too. And if you go for the extreme, you even get a button that allows it to get off the beaten track. The thing is, it's still 2-wheel drive. It's not the stiffest motor on the block. That makes it comfortable, and it also means that it handles well enough. I think we'll have to explore that on the B road. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free, and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Thank you. To its party trick, a modular roof rack. That's the thing about the Jogger. It suits my lifestyle down to the ground. I can stick a couple of bikes in the back. Also, it's got everything I need. Semi-clamshell bonnet, some lovely sculpting, and driving lights down here. You get things like park assist. It's rough, rugged, and rather off-roady looking. I love the cladding. I wonder if they'll add a 4-wheel drive. I think the wheels really suit it. Yes, they are on the small side. Believe it or not, they're 16s. To think the majority of vehicles now are around 18. But with that bubbly tyre, that ensures a very comfortable journey. Key. Yes, it is the one that you saw on the Megane a fair few years ago. Very simple to use. You can even turn on the lights, you can find it in a car park, and release the boot. Let's take a look inside. I do love these colour-coded door handles as well. We've also got blind spot detection. Yes, hard. Pretty much everything in here is hard. The thing is, it doesn't detract. And this bit, where you'll put your arm, is fully padded. This is a nice addition. Electric windows, mirror controls, and a decent sized door pocket. It's not the biggest opening because of its configuration, but it's not bad, even for me at 6'3". Climbing in, absolutely no problem. I have to dip my head a little bit, but apart from that, child's play. Now it is a little more old school than some of the newer cars you'll see on the road today, but it's got a certain charm. I mean, the way it shapes around here. Yes, this is hard. This is soft, and things like this are just easy to use. It's got proper buttons. It's got rotaries. Yes, you've got a touchscreen infotainment system. Everything else is proper clunky buttons. Love it. In a word, it's easy to get on with. There's a couple of things that really caught my eye as well when I climbed in. For example, a USB here, and look at that, a mobile phone holder. They certainly know their market. Got a button down here, and also we can adjust the headlamp height. And yes, this can tow. Solid. Like proper solid. Mind you, not surprising. Most of this car, if you've noticed, no creaks, no clunks, just relatively solid hard plastics. Yeah, you're hard pushed to find any soft plastics whatsoever. There's no leather wraps here, there's not even soft touches. But to be honest, it doesn't really need them. Automatic box, park, reverse, neutral, drive and B. It's brake to increase your regen. It'll also make heavier braking too, so perfect on, say, a country road with a deep descent. Electronic handbrake, you've got a USB there, and it is a USB-C. And here's that off-road mode. It does take a while to start up, maybe a second or two. Touchscreen, yes, it's not the fastest in the world. DAB radio, etc, etc. Now, if you go for the starter trim, I don't know how to say this, you get 2 speakers. But it'll do the job. 12 volt here, and the rotaries for your air conditioning. They even illuminate. Demisters, because we've got top of the range, we've got heated seats. Dependent on trim, interiors vary. We've got, I think it's something like micro something or other. It's a specific type of upholstery that's easy to clean, but it's nice and soft. It's not the most plush interior in the world, and the seats are firm. The thing is, it gives you a decent level of support. It's nice and hard wearing, but it doesn't compromise the comfort levels, which is cool. I like the look too. They're also buckety and rather comfortable. This would benefit from a height adjustable seat. That's the thing. With this one, it's the perfect position. With this, you do feel a little raised, and when my mate was in here, he was towering up here. Just something to consider for the next gen. You've got an armrest. Yes, you are going to be fighting over it because there's no way you'll get 2 arms on there. And does it move? Does it move? Does it do anything? Let's find out. Oh, it lifts. And then we've got storage pot there. 2 cup holders down here and a mega storage point here. A shopping bag hook. Reach and rake in the steering wheel. Headroom, about 2 inches. I also do have height adjustment in my seat. Footrest on the left hand side, and it's a 2-pedal system. Decent visibility, and if you've noticed, the A pillars aren't too big either. The B pillar is a bit chunky, but you can still do your lifesaver look nice and easily. This I really love. The cluster's nice and straightforward. You can see your charge, your eco and your power. When you're regenning, you're putting your power down, and you can see when you're in the eco area. And that's when you can start using things like eSave, eco, and the whole thing will make it rather efficient. On the right hand side, you can see the state of your charge of your traction battery too. You've got road sign recognition, and it'll also pop up with little safety things. The one thing that stands out on this is it doesn't nag. It gives you enough information for you to, well, make up your own mind. I prefer that. These are cool. Anything with a ridged car mat is a plus in my book, especially when you've got muddy trainers or whatever after you've been out, say, mountain biking. You just tip it out and you're sorted. Glove box, yes, wow, interesting style. Also, it is a bit blah, 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 but it does the job. SOS button on all models and a manual mirror. When did you last see one of those? And I think that's your lot. Let's take a look in the back. All seats are manual, there's no grab handle and there's no adjustable seat belt. Your petrol release is down here. It's a very capable vehicle, and off the beaten track it performs far better than you'd expect. You can pretty much meander across anything. Great shape. I just love this silhouette. It's got great proportions. The thing is, I do have a soft spot for estates. And to be honest, they're being phased out again. But the fact that Dacia offer one is absolutely fantastic. Now, I said it was a hybrid, but I didn't mention which type. It looks after itself. You don't need to charge it or any of that jazz. Brakes. Well, you've got disc front. That's the good part. And you've got drums on the rear. Yeah, they're not the greatest system, but let's face it. Back in, I think it was the 1960s, even though they had disc brakes, they fitted drums to all Rolls Royces. Because who wants a squeaky experience? That's food for thought, isn't it? Let's take a look in the back. Nice long door. And the door opens. Yeah, it could open a touch wider, but that's a decent opening. And I think I'll be able to get in there with absolutely no problem. I like the ride height for this. Makes it very easy for me. I have to duck my head a little bit. But no, doable. The thing that's most apparent is you can tell you're in the middle row of a vehicle. But I'm surprised I've got in full stop, especially with this set at 6'3". But you also have to remember this is the length of a pickup. And that's not an exaggeration. 4.5 meters. Because we've got the Extreme, we also have these. Now, I would recommend doing it before you climb in, otherwise it could be a little challenging, shall we say. But look at that. That's cool. You could have a small meal. Cheese board would fit there nicely. It may feel a bit precarious, but you just have to quite literally, to close it, push it down while you're not in the car. There we go. No padded rear armrest. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. You do have an electric window and a decent sized door pocket, and yes, as you'd expect, like the front, very hard plastics, but build quality, pretty good. Yes, I can get my feet under the seat. I have about this much room. I've also got one of those cool mats too. As we've got top of the range, we've also got privacy glass. I do like this interior. Now, the thing that really amazes me and puzzles me at the same time is how you can get 7 adults in here. And it is doable. Yes, you are a bit squished, but you can still do it. You know, 2-3 kids in here and they'll have a field day and they'll have loads of room. It utilises its space very well. It's relatively light and airy, even with the privacy glass. Light headliner and decent sized windows. And even sat here, and if you've noticed, you can tell the seat is rather raised. I've still got a view of about here, so I don't see a chunk of roof. It seems weird sitting here at 6'3", knowing I've still got about an inch of headroom. It almost defies logic, the Jogger. A 12 volt and a USB-C. Centre light. Yes, the roof does move a bit when you push it, but you know, it's fine. No pull down armrest. I love these bolstering on the rear seats too. There is a reduced transmission tunnel, but it doesn't eat into very much space at all. And you could also stow something there. You've also got ISOFIX point and airbags around the vehicle. And I think there's about 6 in total. Time to immerse myself in the 3rd row. This will be fun. Not so bad to get out of either. Now for the moment of truth. Accessing the 3rd row. Now, if I remember correctly, it's not quite as challenging as you might think. Now, according to Dacia, this is actually for adults as well as children. Wish me luck. Now this then just unlatches. You just push it forward, make sure it misses that. And now I've got a proper access point. Yes, it's not quite as easy as going in through a door, but it's pretty good. You'd never think you get 2 6'3" me's in here. And I've got a window as well. Armrest here, would have been nice to see it padded, but you can kind of understand at this price point why, well, things are hard rather than soft. Cup holder here, and I can get my feet under the rear seats. We've even got a bit of a mat as well. A TARDIS. I think that's the only way you can explain it. Look at the headroom. That's about an inch. And I am sat the way I would. The fact that they've recessed the roof is just intelligent. But the centre bit, you know, still allows for things like the seatbelt mount. Climbing out, yes, it's not what you call an elegant experience, but there are far worse out there, he says. It's a lot easier to get in than it is get out, but it's still doable. So yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? Yes, we will never speak of this again. The rear. It's very well designed. It does remind me a little Volvo, the way this toes out. Those rear haunches, ooh, lovely. Yes, we do have bulbs, so no LEDs here. You've got LED daytime running lights, but you don't have actual LED bulbs. That's one thing I would like to see on the next gens. No, it's smart, and it does suit that new Dacia logo. High-level brake light, and a sporty rear spoiler. Also a nice chunky bumper. And yes, rear parking sensors, and a reversing camera. They don't scrimp, especially on convenience and safety. You can also see the Y design featured on the front lights and the rear lights. Micro wiper, oh, cute. Right, let's take a look in the rear. No power tailgate, and when you release this, it does come forward with gusto, so step back. If you're carrying 7 people, you're not going to get much in here. You might be able to jam a couple of shopping bags in there, and maybe, no, I think it's even pushing it for a mini suitcase. However, you start dropping the seats and playing with those configurations, and the world's your lobster. So under the floor, we've got the traction battery. Inflation kit. You do have a boot lip, but in all honesty, it doesn't really matter because of the way it opens. To release these, you just push this down and that drops forward. Also, if I then pull this, I can tip the seat forward too. And then that way, it's just a 5-seater car with a really big boot. And to remove the seat entirely, it's that simple. And there you have it, multiple configurations. Reminds me of, I think it's Zara Picasso. As far as the seating configuration goes, you can remove bits, you can adjust bits, and also it's nice and easy to lock back in place. So done. And then you just pull this, and this can come back up to the position, let go, and there you go. With these seats folded forward but not removed, it increases space quite a bit as well. Tethering hooks down here. As far as luggage goes, you get a fair few suitcases in there and what, say 3 months worth of shopping at least. That's what you call versatile. Let's take a look under the bonnet. To release, not this side, pull once. The release is here and you just pull it left. No struts, and it's not the lightest bonnet, but it's not the heaviest by any means either. It's nice to see an engine, and this just pops in there. See, the air intake's relatively high as well, so standing water shouldn't be a problem as long as you're not wading through meters of it. Nice and easy to see where to top up fluids. You've got yellow symbols on each cap. 1.6 petrol engine and a hybrid system. Right, let's see how it drives. Off-road mode in the Jogger. And this is where I turn around and say, welcome behind the wheel of the Jogger. And this is hybrid. And there we go, we're into electric mode. Ooh, nice cornering. I do love a hybrid. Speaking of hybrid, what we've got under the bonnet is a 1.6 4-cylinder engine and 2 electric motors. So like a high voltage starter generator thingy and a traction motor. And the battery's stored in the wheel well. You don't need to charge it, but it has got some pep when it needs it. It's also rather quiet around town, but it's still got that so you can hear it. A bit like a whale, I suppose. Not that you'll see a whale around town. Anyway, the Jogger's a lovely thing. It ticks so many boxes. Yes, that slight beep is you're exceeding the limit. So it's not what you call an Agatha Christie, which is immense. It's full of safety, it's full of tech. Yes, it's not kitted out like, say, the equivalent E36 BMW. Wow. But for what you get for the money, considering this is £24,000 with hybrid, it's pretty unbeatable. It's got soft suspension. It's not quite ZS EV soft suspension, but it's kind of between there and, say, an SUV. And it just glides around these little village roads. So you heard the transition. It went from electric mode into petrol mode. Yes, it's not the smoothest, but it does the job, well, admirably. Yes, if you go for the BMW and Audi equivalents, there is a smoother transition. The thing is, you don't notice it. No, the suspension is forgiving. The thing is, that doesn't compromise the ride. Yes, it makes it comfortable for drivers and passengers. But actually, this way. But when you put your foot down, and this can shift, so we're about to go into a national speed limit, so I'll just... So that was 28 to 40. Not what you really expect out of a Dacia. But the hybrid powertrain delivers decent power. And it's progressive too. I've driven other hybrids where it's kind of on-off. This is, once you put your foot down, it will, wow, steering. Not the tightest in the world, and it's not got the smallest turning circle. But as you see from this demonstration, it's not bad, considering its pickup length. You've got decent feedback, and it's got a nice feel. It feels responsive. It's not one of those hot hatch side steering wheel setups, but why would it be? This is a 7-seater practical family wagon that combines MPV with pickup. Why do I say pickup? I don't quite know. It seems to have a decent ride height, and also when it's driving down the road, it's definitely SUV more than MPV or estate car for that matter. It just glides along, gobbling up bumps, absolutely no problem. For example, this corner, look at that. Pulling onto dual carriageways and motorways, absolutely no problem. Blip the throttle and you're up to 70 before you know it. Yes, it won't win any awards for acceleration or handling, but across the board, it's excellent. I really love Jogger. You've got B mode here, so that increases your braking, therefore increasing the charge of your battery. Lights are good. Yes, they are bulbs, like halogen. Hills, great fun. Leverage the power and you can just launch. With that B, you can just let it peter out and then apply the power again. No, it's hard to find anything wrong with this. It will scream a bit if you floor it, but that's a hybrid powertrain. Also, refinement in the cabin isn't as good as it could be, but at 20 grand, do you really care? Put your radio on and you've solved that problem. You'll hear a bit of tyre noise and a little bit of wind noise. But as far as the vehicle goes, it's nice and solid. Yes, it's very basic, but there's a certain charm of that. Cluster's nice and straightforward to use. You can see all the information you need. Same with the infotainment. Everything's within easy reach. Claim around 56 to the gallon. I think on an eco run you'll exceed that. Driving more swiftly, 45 to 50. That's it. It doesn't seem to use petrol. I've driven it here, there and everywhere, and it's just the gauge isn't going down. And you may think, oh, it's Dacia, it's not going to have safety like AEB, road sign recognition, and you'd be wrong. No, it's got everything it needs, to be honest. Ooh, a Dacia. No, I'm at one with Jogger. And on that note, I'll bid you a fond farewell. Thanks for watching.